All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome to today's video. Sorry if I'm gonna be a bit slow today because I am not having the best day of my life. I'm a little bit sick in the past 2 days, but I decided to make this video for you quickly. I'm covering today's trading day as of Monday, 22nd of September. We were pretty bullish on the day. I expected pretty much bullish order flow, bullish movements. To be honest, basically the whole day was like nothing really much happened in terms of big movements. Uh, Up on Asian session opened at 8 a.m. Basically yesterday on Sunday. As you can see, we had a let's say bigger movement to the downside, but we were like just basically accumulating. Up in London session open, we just dumped like crazy. You could have catch crazy movements if you're trading London session, but as you may know, I'm only trading New York session, so I'm not really interested what's happening before before that. After this London session dump, it's yeah, it's a big movement, to be honest. To the downside, I was expecting price to, catch up a little bit to the upside again. As you can see, we were here. I think this was this shit. Da, 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 da. I think it was Friday. Yeah, 19th was the Friday. Yeah, true. Yeah. So this was last Friday highs. Um, and from this point to that point, it's a pretty big movement. Let's just switch to higher time frame quickly. So as you can see, we closed the week last week here, and we moved all the way down here today in London session. So I expected price, even though we moved, so we dumped a little bit to the downside. Actually, you cannot really dump to the upside anyway. So we had a large movement to the downside. I was still expecting price to continue to be bullish since every bullish what I wanted to say, every bullish confluences and PD arrays were being respected. As you can see, all these fair value gaps and this old low has been respected as well. We just picked up some liquidity from last week, basically, but we overall respected the bullish order flow. So no higher time frame change in the state of delivery. I mean, change of the state has happened if we focus on like a higher time frame. I would consider to be bearish if we would have been closing below these lows here. Before that, not really, because we had a huge ass movement to the upside. We were accumulating, as I said, late PM session of Friday, and then Asian session on Sunday, and then upon London session open during the day, we had this nice movement to the downside, which initiated this big movement to the upside again. As you can see, we had a beauty. What a move! What a move! So if you're following me on Instagram or if you're following me on TikTok, actually I'm not posting these kind of things on TikTok, but I usually do kind of a markup and forecast, let's say, on Instagram. So if you're interested on my opinion before market open, or just my overall opinion about the trading day, just hit me with a follow. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's a nice way of, I don't know, expressing your interest towards my thing that I'm do. Anyway, so I shared my idea on Instagram just before market open. I was actually waiting for price. As you can see, this dash line was market open at 9:30, and end of London session we started to slow down. So we had this big ass movement to the downside. We came back, we down again, but we never closed below these lows. So we still, even though this movement was considered big for, in my opinion, this one here, this we never disrespected the bullish order flow. We never closed below these lows. So this was kind of a protected low point or intermediate low, as I would say, because intermediate lows are the lows which mitigate some kind of PD array. Some let's say we had this fair value gap here, 5 minute fair value gap. This has been touched by this movement to the downside by like mid London session. No, it was around like 3:30. Perfect. Almost like London Open. So this became like an intermediate low, and we never really went below that low point. We never really touched or came close to this low point, let alone closing below that. So we stayed in this area. uh, that's where I was thinking, or that's where my bias tried. That's where my bias started to forge. To be honest, I expected price up on London Open, because on ES we were a bit lower. We were like before market open, as you can see, like here, because we opened here, and here on ES we were a bit lower, like around here. But MQ was making higher high, and ES was making a lower high, and I was expecting to at least for ES to sweep out these lows. These were London session lows here, and actually I marked out these lows as well as resting sell side. So it's not like I'm not taking a trade until these lows will be it's I'm not sticking to these things like 100. It's not even sticking to these things. It's like you're not here to predict, you're not here to decide what's going to happen. You are just here. You have a bias, you have a plan. You should have a plan, a clear plan how you're going to react to certain things. It's not like, okay, I think this is gonna happen, and I'm just sticking to that with a blindfold or tunnel vision, and I'm disregard everything that the market is showing me. You should listen to the market, because it's not working the other way around. It's not the market will do the things that you want to see, or the market will do the things that you expect the market to do. You should be here with a clean plan, a clean execution plan, or a clear state of mind. Okay, if this is going to happen, I'm going to wait for this. Or if that's not going to happen, what I'm waiting for, or what's my overall bias. Am I bullish? Am I bearish? If I'm bullish, I want to see that. But if that is not happening, what's the other confluence, or what's the other things that I'm taking into consideration to be bullish? Or I think I try to explain it as easy as I can, but long story short is I'm trying to encourage you not to put your blindfold on and waiting for things that are not there. And in this case, to just maybe you understand it more if I'm explain it this way. So I had London lows here. I had a nice liquidity pool resting here. So it was, and we were like here. So before market open, we were like here. So in my opinion, these are always low hanging fruits. Let's say it's these are low hanging fruits. What does that mean? Low hanging fruits are those liquidity pools, those lows, those fair value gaps or those key levels that price can easily or most likely can mitigate before the real move is happening, basically. So that's what I'm telling you all the time. I'm usually trading reversals only. Usually trading reversals only. What that means, I need to see some kind of manipulation in a form of mitigating a higher time frame for value gap, sweeping a session low, a session high, hourly lows, hourly highs, and stuff like that. And after that, when this sweep is happening or this mitigation is happening, I want to see a reversal of a fair value gap in the highest time frame possible. Usually, the highest time frame that I'm looking for is the 5 minute time frame as a reversal, as an inverse fair value gap. But if that is not happening, what am I not gonna trade? No. If that's not happening, as you can see here, and that's why I mentioned in the beginning of the video or this video that I told you I shared my idea or shared my markup today also on Instagram. That one, what I'm gonna expect, what's my expectation for today, or yeah, you can check it. It's there. It was uploaded right before, I think around like I don't know, 9 a.m. I'm in New York local time. In Europe time, where I'm from, it was around like 3 p.m. I uploaded the video, what I'm expecting, and after that, where is my expectation of price, you know, most likely pulling towards, or you know what I'm saying? Like, that was, I highlighted London session highs, Asian session highs, all-time highs, and this 1 hour for value gap as my target, as my draw on liquidity. And I expected these levels to be hit after some kind of manipulation to the downside, because I always mention you in my videos, or I think all of my videos, I always mention that in order for me to take long, I want to see price to come lower or manipulate lower or sweep out some kind of lows. As you can see here, it's a beautiful liquidity pool resting here. London session lows were here, and price just right before market open was only here. So I was expecting maybe not this one, but this one for sure. I was expecting price to sweep these lows out, even only this one. Let's say only this one, but some form of manipulation to the downside in order for me to take a long setup, a long trade. But I was constantly monitoring ES, and on ES, it was just slower or slowly making higher highs when NQ was making aggressive higher highs. And I knew it after like 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, that the manipulation to the downside is not really going to happen. And that's where the other topic comes in picture, as I wanted to tell you that that's really great if you have it's really great if you have a clean plan. It's really great if you have a nice execution plan, or a nice bias, or a nice thinking of, in terms of like price, where price most likely going to head after market open. And that's really good if you have some kind of, thought process, the process that, okay, market's going to open in 5 minutes, I want to see this, and after that I want to see that, and everything is aligning, I'm going to take a long, or I'm going to take a short. It's really nice. It's the best way to start a trading day, uh, with a great plan. Sorry if I'm talking a little bit slower, or I'm making deep breaths, but I'm really sick in the past 2 days. I'm sweating like hell also, but I decided to make this video because I don't, if I had the energy to trade today and I made a really nice trade today, I should have the energy to make this video for you guys, even if two of you watching it. But if those two person take some knowledge or take some wisdom out of it, I'm really great. I'm really glad. So back to the topic. Sorry if I'm a little bit slower or something like that, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, up on market open, I was, as I mentioned, I was waiting for some kind of manipulation to the downside, at least these lows. But we were aggressively moving towards to my actual targets. That was my problem, or that was my concern. Because even though ES was making slower movements, so that was the lagging index behind Nasdaq. Uh, I was kind of expecting that. Okay, I mean, this 1 hour for rail gap was not my target actually, but London highs, Asian highs, and ultimately the all time highs were my draw on liquidity for the day, as we were super extremely bullish. But we actually reached this 1 hour for rail gap pretty fast and pretty aggressively, as you can see these aggressive candles to the upside. I was low-key expecting price to just stop here. As you can see, this is the 9:30 candle, and we just closed inside the fair value gap, this 1 hour fair value gap. And I was thinking about, okay, if we close inside and the next candle is going to be bearish, that's the time where, okay, higher time frame mitigation has happened, and we are heading towards to these lows, to take these lows out in order to have a nice reversal off of that, and target the like original targets of mine. But as you can see, London highs, I usually I delete these lines to have my chart as clean as possible. But this video, I thought that's the best way to you know just tell you what was my thinking today, and just basically tell you that also you don't need to. And it's, I know it sounds a really bit stupid sometimes, but even if you make a clear decision, or you make a clear you know a plan and stuff like that, you sometimes need to divert from that idea and listen to the chart. And that was the main topic of this video today, that don't be afraid to kind of modify your thinking or modify your plan. It's not even modifying, it's basically adjust your thinking and adjust your plan according to the chart, according to price action. And don't be a fool, and don't be blindfolded by the fact that, okay, oh my god, at 2 whatever time zone you are in. But for me, it was like 2 p.m., 1.5 hour before New York session open. I decided, okay, I'm gonna be bearish, for example. And I have clearly, for example, here I decide, okay, oh, price looks like pretty bearish, just an example. Okay, I'm gonna wait for bearish setups, or bearish signs or confluences to happen in order to take a short. And market opens, and you can see these big ass movements to the upside, which are clearly not bearish. What are you going to do if price action is completely bullish? Are you going to wait for bearish setup, or are you going to refine, or um, just rebuild your whole thinking? Your whole plan needs to change at that point. Because are you here to make money, or are you here you know have fun? Or I don't know if you get this thinking, but you need to readjust yourself and realign yourself with the chart, and don't be fooled by your own selfish thinking that, okay, I think it's gonna be bearish, and it's clearly not bearish, and you're still waiting for bearish setup. And I know you sometimes do this, because I did this. I had a clear thinking, oh, this looks bearish. I'm gonna wait for bearish things. And when bullish price action happened, clearly I was looking for bearish setups. And even when these kind of movements happen now, I thought, okay, this is my time when it's going to be bearish. And I was really mad and really disappointed when I got stopped out instantly, because the overall trend was bullish and you shouldn't look for bearish setups. I know I talk a little bit too much about this, and you might say that, oh, just get to the point, show me your trade, show me how much you made, and stuff like that. I know you most of you are only interested in how much I made or how much I lost or what was the trade. But believe me, guys, if you really want to be profitable and you really want to evolve and you really want to, be better at the end of the day, it's not just where I place my entry and where was my stop loss and where was my TP and what time I entered the trade and how much I won and how much I lost. And this is not going to make you a better trader. This is not going to make you a profitable trader. And you're not going to, evolve as a trader as well. You take it as it is or you don't take it. It's really up to you. As I mentioned in almost all of my videos, I'm not here to, get some views or get some subscriptions or sell something. I'm just really here because I really enjoy doing this. I love doing this. It's not just enjoying, I love it. And I just want to share as much knowledge as I can for free for those of you who are struggling or for those of you who cannot afford real education. Or I'm here for you guys, and that's it. And you really need to value these kind of things because these are for free, and I'm sharing these experiences and sharing this knowledge firsthand. And I'm not asking for anything, but only maybe just listen and try these things, and don't think it's that easy as you can see it online with other gurus. Anyway, back to the topic. Oh my god. So yeah, we were aggressively heading towards my to my targets actually, and I was like, okay, this is going to be a day where I need to, you know rethink or sit down, or not say, actually I was sitting, but just to, have a clear few minutes to just rethink my setup and what I want to see from now on, because obviously this 1 hour for value gap got disrespected. And I'm just gonna delete this 1 hour. That 1 hour for value gap got disrespected, which in my according to my strategy, or according to my, views, uh, that higher time frame inversion, basically that's an inversion because we were here, and that higher time frame for value gap was just up here, that got disrespected. What that means is we are changing the trend from bearish to bullish again. Obviously on the lower time frame we were bearish because we were coming down in London session. So we disrespected that. We hit London highs also. That was one of my targets. No worries, that's still fine. um Shit, where we are, here we go. Okay, so in this case, what are you looking for? If you are still bullish and one of your targets get hit, and you no longer have two targets or three targets, you only have one or two. But what does that mean? That your expectation or your bias was right. You were right. You are good to go. You are, obviously you can reverse from these points, but I'm gonna tell you these kind of things in a separate video. As I always say, that's too much in a recap video. But market opened, we disrespected that 1 hour for value gap, which I deleted. We hit London highs, and I was low-key expecting for a reversal because we still had these low-hanging low points there. um, but no, we continued, and I thought, okay, this day is going to be a continuation day. So usually what we can see is upon market open, usually New York session is manipulating to the opposing direction and then we are reversing. But of course, that also at the other side of the coin, we do sometimes just continuing the overall trend which are in place before market opens, so around pre-market here 8:30. As you can see, at 8:30 we started to move, and we started to move like big time. Comparing to this late London session, we were basically just accumulating. But usually when we are accumulating like this and we have a nice dumping movement to the downside, I expect price to sweep these out. Beautiful liquidity pool. Sweep these out and take a reversal and target the original high point here, or even higher. But we just continued this time. So we hit London highs here. We started to like thinking here. It's I wouldn't call this accumulation here, but we can say that this is we can say that this is accumulation. I had a nice 2 minute fair value gap, which was constantly being respected here. So we were accumulating, manipulating all the way down to the lowest point of this 2 minute fair value gap. Here we went below this a little bit, but I marked out this one a little bit higher than the actual candle. So here we stayed inside the Furvel gap. Not it's that it matters, but we stayed inside this Furvel gap. So we manipulated to the downside, fully mitigated this 2 minute Furvel gap, as you can see it here. Nice 2 minute Furvel gap mitigation. And after that, I know it was a stupid decision to switch it up. But yeah, after that mitigation to the downside or manipulation to the downside, this 2 minute bullish for val gap held itself. So we remained bullish, and we had a 1 minute inversion. I entered on the 1 minute inversion. I just quickly wait. We can do it here. There we go. And for the pocket watchers, I made $992.40 on the day. So I entered on this candle closure, as you can see, this one here, right when we inverse this 1 minute for value gap. So after the manipulation, we reversed, inversing this 1 minute for value gap, and I entered. Uh, the two targets that I had left was Asian highs. That's where I decided to take most of my position out. So I was in a trade with 3 contracts. I took 2 contracts out on Asian session highs, and I decided to move my stop to break even. I took two contracts and I just let it float. And my last TP point was all-time highs. Uh, Everything got hit. We got a little bit slow here around 10. Yeah, 10, right? Yeah, 10. But by 10:30 we hit. So basically in 1 hour I finished. Not a big trend, so it's just 1.8 RR, but it was a beautiful execution, beautiful resilience. I kept my bias. I refined my thinking. I was not looking for a deeper down movements in order to have a bullish setup. Overall, I'm really happy with this Monday trading day. Hope you guys like this video. Sorry if I was a bit over explaining some stuff, but it's one thing that I tell you, okay, this is the trade I took. Okay, we opened, we mitigated and held this 2 minute bullish for value gap, so we never closed below, it never got disrespected, and after that I entered on an inversion on the 1 minute, and that's my trade, and I'm so good. Now I like to explain it. uh, Maybe you can learn from it as well. Hope you guys liked it. Sorry if I was a little bit slow or a little bit, all over the place. I don't really feel the best, to be honest, but I decided to make this video. So yeah, hope you guys find it valuable. Let me know in the comments and follow me on Instagram as well, so you can see these markups and forecasts as well.